last class. So this class, I want to focus a little bit on introducing to you, which really for me, I feel like sort of my heart practice is using mantra and purification to go deeper into understanding and transforming our mind, transforming our stuff into all the good qualities, that's what we all really want. That's I think why we're here. We want to be able to move through our stuff and have a method and a kind of inspiring, joyful method to do that. So when we sit on our cushion, we enjoy it. That takes some time. I remember when one teacher said that a few years into my practice, you need to enjoy your meditation. I'm like, do I enjoy my meditation? I don't know if I'm quite there yet, but I know I need to do it. So, and it's a bit like even when you take on running or the gym or yoga, in the beginning, it's really tough, because you're not connecting really with what you need to do. But then you get to a point if you keep doing it where it's like, I think I'm enjoying this now, because you've got a bit of space to kind of understand what's going on, yeah, with your body, how you move, your actions, like that. So it's very much like that. I was trying to say in meditation, why we need these practices to create a space within us. What these practices do is they start to, instead of feeling like I am my anger, I am my grief, I am my attachment, we feel like it's just like it's all consuming. I am my anxiety. Dave, I'll get you. So that we're all going like, yeah, that's how we feel, we do. And it's like you just get stuck in that. It's like stuck in the mud. Remember the lotus I mentioned about the lotus coming up through the mud? Well, that kind of peaks up and then just gets drowned again often. So when we do meditation, it's sort of peaking out, it's starting to blossom, but if we don't keep going, it just gets back into mud again. And we just feel like we're the mud. So it does take time to create space in the mind. And we have to accept that. Otherwise, you give up. And it does take, even if you do a few minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, that builds up. It's better almost than going for a week's retreat and going, wow, that was amazing. And then you go back and you've got no time to meditate. Because we have a lot of people coming to Vajrapani who do a weekend retreat. And of course, it's wonderful. You need to do that too. It gives you inspiration, but you need to use that then to have your daily practice, like you come to a class. But again, and then we start beating ourselves up because we can't meditate and do. So again, it's like you need to create a space, first of all, in your life. The first space is, where's the space I can create in my life, in my day for practice? Make a strong determination. Then slowly that space starts to create an inner space. So you can start to see your stuff. It's like we need to create these layers of space. And the space that you're creating is actually your capacity for wisdom and compassion, to see your things, to see who you thought you were, who you thought you felt you were. Maybe you're not that. Maybe we've got this whole other part of yourself that we never explored before. And that happens when we're developing our Buddha nature. This lotus that's stuck under the mud, we haven't been nurturing that through listening to teachings, reflecting on them, and meditating. That's how you bring that lotus of our mind, that beauty, all these deities. They're just fully developed. They're right out the mud. Their lotus is beautiful for everybody to see, and everyone to enjoy. And we also have that ability, but it's not a like instant process. It really isn't. So it's good news and bad news, yeah. And that's one of the things, like then Stan's like, well, yeah, actually, I was just talking about relationships. Yeah, well, I wanted to talk about that because I've got this and that. And I thought that's great. Now you can label what's going on in your mind. That's the first start. Labeling what the problems are, step by step. As I said, when I met Buddhism, and I'd already done a couple of years of meditation and practice, and one day my teacher said to me when I was in the room, because I think I got upset with somebody at the house or something like that, because I thought I'd go to my teacher's house and it would all be blissful. People say, oh, you go to the monastery, it's all peaceful. Everybody's peaceful. They're like half enlightened, all these monks and nuns. No, we've just decided to work on our stuff. But you can have a lot of chaos in monasteries because actually that environment creates a space for your stuff to come out. So, and then there's a purification process of, first of all, the junk coming out, like the laundromat experience is very much like that. You put your stuff in the machine and then you see it going around and all the water starts to get dirtier and dirtier. And it's like, whoa, that was really dirty. Well, it's a little bit like that. First of all, before our mind gets clean, it's like it needs to come out, you know? So that's that. And that's what we need to, that's why you need Sangha. That's why you need people to talk to, because like, oh, well, that's good. This situation is allowing you, that problem situation is actually your best friend because it's showing you your junk in your mind. And how are you going? Now you need to find something to work with that stuff because that's your responsibility as a human being. That's our biggest responsibility is working with your stuff. Of course, we know we've got other responsibilities too, but really that is, and this is what we're doing in the Dharma, taking responsibility. Yes, Dave.
Well,
hi.
How do you allow yourself to make that a priority over all your other responsibilities?
I think I mean, I understand people have family, kids, jobs, work, all that, you know, but somehow you need to get to this idea that if that's going to really work better for me, I need to create a space where I'm working on my mind. So it's not an either or situation. It's a bit of both. Because also hi, welcome. Even as a monastic, it's not like I sat in the monastery all peaceful for 20 years. No, I mean, I had to do jobs, I had to work, I had to offer service, I had to work with people. So but that's the thing, my teacher puts you in there so you see your stuff, but you still have to have a daily practice to work with that stuff, you know? So that's the thing. I mean, maybe you need to drop something to create that space. Is there something, if your life's so full and you can't find any space, but is there a space, something you can drop that allows you that space? So I have to think about that as well, you know. For life's so full, I think there's always something we can drop. That we can create that space to work on our mind, you know. Because really, as I say, mind is the basis in this tradition. And Buddhist, what the Buddha taught is, without taking care of the mind, it's going to be very hard to take care of your life. It's going to be one problem after another. We didn't understand how the mind works, how to create happiness. How do we create peace? It's absolutely possible. And I can say that maybe after 25 years of practicing. I'm not enlightened yet, but I can see, you know, a little bit how things are working, you know. So it's absolutely possible. What the Buddha taught for me is absolutely like clean. You know, I had my doubt, you know, over the years you have your doubts because I'm like, well, this isn't really shifting and this isn't really working. But then slowly, it's like, wait a minute, there is a capacity for patience in there that is really there and it's more powerful than anger. It is there. I just need to keep developing it. You know, so we have to the conviction really comes when you have these experiences of like, oh, there is this whole kind of area with part of me that can be patient in the face of these difficult situations. There is this part of me that can be more kind to this other person that I thought I really couldn't even handle or be around. And that's very inspirational, you know, when we touch base with that. But again, it needs to be cultivated, activated, worked on. We need to really put the effort in, you know, and that's through sitting, that's through listening to teachings and being inspired. Also, using others who are more patient to inspire us. Instead of thinking, oh, they're really patient, I'm not. Right? We usually go there, yeah? So because meditation, my teacher would say, it's not just about sitting on the cushion. We can get a lot from other people. But instead of other people being a problem for us, they support our practice. Now, we can't just do that. It's, you know, it's not going to happen right away. But ideally, I mean, we say in this tradition, the Buddhas are so precious because they've got all the qualities, they're enlightened beings. But for the Buddhas, we're more precious. First of all, because we're not developed yet, so they feel compassion for us. But also, there's all these life stories when the Buddha, it's called the Chataka tale. So it goes back like many lifetimes when the Buddha was this being and that being and another being. And when he gave up his life for this, he practiced patience with somebody who wanted to kill him. He did all these things. So how did he get enlightened? It was on the basis of difficult people, difficult situations. You don't get enlightened just saying, I think I'm just going to get peaceful on my cushion here. And just ignore everybody else, or just I just want to be in my own peace, just leave me alone, No, because all that stuff is just sitting there, So it's hard. It's a bit tough, but we need to sit on the cushion. We need to think about, have a meditation, a practice that helps us, is it patience, is it loving kindness, is it developing our understanding of the nature of reality, how we are deeply connected to others, feeling that a bit more on the cushion. And then when we get up, we're able a little bit more, the muscle of patience, the muscle of kindness, the muscle of even having less anxiety, whatever, in situations, that's more developed, So a little bit more peace. So when we're in a situation, it's like, oh, all of a sudden we could be a wee bit more patient with that person. Or we can open our heart just a little bit more with that difficult person because we've practiced on the cushion. But we see the real results of our practice when we're not on the cushion. So it's a bit like when you go into war, you have to do all this training. Fortunately, none of us have done that. But life is a war, We're battling with our own stuff, with people's stuff, with our expectations, we're, making money, whatever it is. There's a battle going on, So when we're on the cushion, we're training so we can deal with these little battles in life. It's like that, we are soldiers, a little bit, training ourselves so life becomes a little bit more gentle, a little bit soft. Because how much life is gentle, soft, and easy is 100% based on what's going on in our mind. It feels like life out there is separate from the view of my mind. They're different from me. Feels like there's a big separation from everybody, right? You're out there doing your thing and I'm here and I'm just trying to get on my life. So, but it's not like that at all. Ultimately, who we are and how our mind perceives things. Would you agree that we're all perceiving this room in a little bit of these little bit, some people like the class, some people's like, nah, it's not for me, they leave or whatever. So we perceive things very differently, and that perception comes due to the quality of our mind or our consciousness. Even in a given situation, two people, and this is actually like the secret of Buddhism, happiness, suffering come from your mind. Now, it sounds easy, but it's actually quite a difficult one to get to, But every situation, how we experience it through our senses, especially through what we call our mental consciousness, it's all about the quality of what's going on in our mind. Because we can see even two people in a situation can experience something very differently, So that much we've developed our mind, our Buddha nature, our heart, in wisdom, which kind of starts to understand the basic functioning of how things function, how reality functions, the interdependent nature. And that much we soften our hearts. I don't mean being floppy with everybody and being soppy, but a genuine more gentleness towards ourselves and others. Bit more openness, bit more loving kind. That much life's going to be easier. And that's a reality, that we'll have less and less problems, So it's for Westerners, the more we understand that, like really, it doesn't mean that we don't have to get a job. We have to deal with conventional getting a job, taking it. We have to do that. But we do that within in the context of understanding how to take care of our minds. If we do that, then, oh my God, life's going to go so much easier. Less problems, solve problems. But then even that problem, you'll have a little bit of understanding. I have to develop these wings of wisdom and compassion in my own mind to deal with that problem. And it no longer becomes a problem, but a little bit more of an opportunity. But it takes a lot of work to deep go down into that. So this is what we're doing in meditation, is continually going back in to our little cave. We don't have to go to the Himalayas. Wherever we are, we can create a wee cave and just be with ourselves. and start to understand through meditation what's creating happiness and what's creating suffering and problem in our own mind. That's what meditation is. That's the best service you can do for yourself. So everybody needs, we all need some quiet time. We all need to find a peaceful space. And we need inspiration for our mind, for our heart, you know, something inspiring that helps to open up the mind in these qualities. Sorry, that was a lot of blah, 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 but I hope something made sense. I just feel like I need to repeat it all the time because we're not conditioned like that in the West. We keep thinking that happiness is somehow out there. And it doesn't mean don't enjoy, you know, my sister's here, so I'm taking her to the beach and we're going here. And she's come from Scotland. So, you know, of course I have to take her around. She's quite fortunate. Her mind's pretty good, you know. She doesn't, I can't meditate, but she's got quite a decent, good mind. She's a nurse. So she's familiar with having to think about others. And she's a mother too, you know. So, um, and many of us, maybe some of us might have that where we do have to think about others, but still it can be difficult thinking about others all the time. If we just keep having to do that, we need to still, because we've got our own junk that keeps coming up in the light of that, you know, so we need to work, we need to give ourselves space. That's the loving kindness we give to ourselves. It's like taking moments, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, half an hour, to really start to understand how to take care of your mind. You know, in the context of spiritual practice, meditation, because that is the root. It's really where all our happiness and joy is going to come. Eventually, like the example of my teacher, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, His Holiness Dalai Lama, no matter what situation, I mean, they had a lot of responsibilities. My teacher had thousands of students, and we've all got our junk, you know, guiding us, giving advice for that. His Holiness Dalai Lama's got the whole Tibetan situation. You know, 6 million people come here tortured, abused, these countries in darkness right now. The Chinese are totally taking over. But he's able to have a joy in that situation, incredible compassion, but a joy that's he doesn't lose, you know. So it's hard to get there, but for me, it's just like that is possible. We can all get there. So these beings are not like gods up there. We can never get there. The idea is they want us to get there. You know, they're guiding us to that joyful place where everything we feel joy, happiness all the time, but we have a deep sensitivity to everybody, what's going on with them, you know. So it's incredible that you can have joy in a time when others are suffering a lot, but you still feel what's going on, and they know that you feel it, you know. But I don't know, I don't have that mind, you know. But I just feel like when you see, I've met the Dalai Lama, and he's got so much. I mean, you feel like he's right there with you. Never feel like I felt like that with my teacher and with His Holiness and a couple of other beings. They're completely there with you, and they're really joyful, and but they can feel everything that's got all your stuff. And that's how they know how to guide you. You know, they know your layers of things that they've got to move, but they have this incredible compassion for you, but they don't lose the joy. Even with His Holiness, all these people who are struggling and tortured, incredible joy, incredible compassion, but they can sort of get, so there's this aspect where there's not attachment to that. They're not attached to you know, it's like a really vast, spacious mind, you know, it's something unbelievable. And sometimes in meditation, when we do certain you can touch that. We want to be able to touch and experience these states of mind a little bit. So it gives us this kind of feeling like I can get there, you know. Okay, so any questions or comments? What's your name, sorry? I've got a couple of new people in the class today.
Camila.
Camila, where are you from, Camila?
I am from Colombia.
Colombia, okay. You just visiting or you're living here? But you're living in Santa Cruz, yeah. Okay, great. Well, welcome. And you?
My name's John.
John. And John, you're
I live in Santa Cruz also.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah, California native.
Yeah, okay. Great. Well, is this your first time here?
Yeah.
Okay, welcome. You come together, yeah? Good. Have you done meditation before?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're all sorted then, yeah? No. Anyway, let's start. So I'm not talking all the time. We do some meditation. So today it's a little bit about, we've got about another hour or so. The focus is going to be on So as I mentioned, mantra, I want to focus on mantra and a little bit purification. So we're going to do about maybe half an hour with a 15-minute break of meditation, and then we'll talk a little bit and then do one more purification meditation at the end of the class. So let's get into our meditation position, each of us.
Yeah, you're welcome to pull out.
Yeah, also, if
cushions
you
and
want to sit on
on
a
the
cushion,
floor if
here,
you
want to sit there,
You
yeah.
don't
Not all of us can do that, but if you
treat
can,
this like your house.
Yeah,
pull
yeah.
it as avatar.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Whatever you like, you can sit however.
If anybody wants to sit.
Comfortable. If you need something for your feet or your back, please just, it's all over there. You can grab it.
All right, so we're just going to go through. So for meditation, we do need to kind of settle the body in a place where it supports us being able to really work with the mind, because the mind is very subtle, you know. As we know, our thoughts, feelings, emotions, I mean, they're heavy, but in the same way, it's a subtle part of ourselves that we're working on. So first of all, we connect and ground in the body. So going through, let's just go through the points of the posture. So first of all, taking a couple of deep breaths, just inhale and exhale any stale airs, any busyness, any kind of stuck feelings in the body or the mind. Just allow them to let go in the exhalation. So a couple of deep inhalations and just letting go. And as I've mentioned before, taking a moment before we go through the body, just to connect with this thought, how wonderful it is. This is how we just start to develop joy in our meditation practice. So it doesn't just become this sort of dry routine. You know, we have this capacity for incredible joy. So we just try to activate that a little bit when we start meditation. Can we bring this thought, how wonderful it is I've woke up this morning? I'm still alive. No matter what age we are, so many people died last night when I was asleep, of different ages. If we just spread our mind and think that people passed away last night, young, old, middle-aged, you know. Some were already sick, some were really healthy, but they died suddenly. But here I am, you know. I'm still alive. I can still breathe. And maybe, you know, just through stepping into this class, maybe I started to get some sense that by working on my mind, understanding the workings of our mental consciousness, our heart, the world, our mind and emotions, that I can start to activate more peace and happiness in my life through meditation. So how wonderful it is that I'm trying to take care and understand my mind. With this day that appears to me another day in my life, in my human existence. So then to settle into the body, with breath and awareness. I mean, now we're just getting into a regular state of breathing. And as we settle down, we'll find the breath gets a little bit deeper, allowing ourselves to breathe more deeply into the abdomen. As we bring our mind's eye, our awareness, to the crown of the head. And just a couple of breaths here. Feeling the light energy around the crown. And with breath and awareness, we start to trickle down the body and finding we're doing this scanning exercise, just using breath and awareness to release and relax any areas where we start to feel tension, maybe around the eyes. And we go inside and outside the body, so the skin, into the blood, tissue, muscle, and just releasing and relaxing, letting go of tension in these different areas. It's like giving yourself a massage. So keep moving down the body, back of the neck, making sure, often the chin starts to poke up. We want the chin tucked under, the back of the neck open. And checking the points of the posture as you go down. So I'm going to give you a few minutes, just massaging yourself with breath and awareness and allowing that to open up the parts of the body and just checking the posture points all the way down the tips of the toes. And going a little bit deeper into the belly area, often we feel tension there. Maybe a few breaths, just being with the sit bones, the sensation of the sit bones on the cushion to help ground our energy. Feel like we're connected with the earth, kind of earth element, the earthiness of the sit bones, just touching the ground, touching your cushion. main point of the posture when we meditate is this uprightness of the spine, because we have these subtle channels in the body. We have a gross body and we have a subtle body. You know that even in acupuncture, Reiki, that's what they're working on, our prana and our winds and channels. So we need to utilize that in meditation. And we have one main channel that runs along the spine, central channel. It runs from just below the navel all the way up and kind of up through the back of the neck, through the head, right to the top of the head, and kind of from the crown it kind of it goes like at the top of an old-fashioned umbrella, that handle to the tips of the nostrils. That one's blue. It's about the thickness of like a straw. And it's made of blue radiant light. So we have this central channel. Even if you can't see it, just feel that there's that energy running along the side of the spine. On the right side, there's a red channel, not touching, just a little bit distance apart. Again, just below the navel. And it's connected to the blue channel at the bottom and runs up right side to the tips of the nostril, the right nostril, red in colour. And then left side, we have white channel, connected again at the bottom, just below the navel. So those three channels connect together and it runs up alongside, parallel to the central channel, again with that umbrella shape at the top of the head, all the way down to the left nostril. So in these channels, there's a wind element. You know, it's more subtle than the breath, but we use the breath to purify a more subtle wind element that helps to clear the mind. Creates more clarity in the arena of our consciousness. So it's like a preparation for meditation that's taken from the tantric teachings, the Tibetan tantric teachings. So the yogis, the meditators, use this to sort of clear the wind energy in the body, so it's more spaciousness for meditation. We can see ourselves a little bit more clearly. So bringing the first finger of the right hand, closing off the left nostril, opposite nostril, like this. And long, slow, deep inhalation, not noisy, but just sort of quiet, but long, slow, deep inhalation. And we imagine the channel on the right red channel, the wind's going down there, bottom of the navel, close it in and going into the white channel. And we exhale and clear the winds, stale winds through that channel. So we go from left, we go inhale through the right, moving the finger, close off the right nostril, exhale through the left, keeping the jaw and everything soft, you know, and just allowing the breath to gradually go deeper. So we do 3 on that side. Then we go over and do the same on the opposite side, closing off the opposite nostril, right nostril, the left hand. Inhale. Wind energy goes down to the bottom of the navel and moves up through that other channel. So we do this 3 times on each side. Allowing this belly to open up. Notice it opens up. Maybe the breath gets a bit longer as we go a bit more quiet, deeper into the breathing. When you finish both sides, then we go down through both nostrils. So the wind goes down, the breath, through the white and the red channels. And it enters into the central channel, that blue one at the bottom of the navel. And we feel like some part of that goes into the channel and stays there. And the rest, the energy we don't want, we expel that through the nostrils. So do 3 times. Take a moment just to be with your mind. See if there's a bit more clarity and lightness of your mind. So let's do this one more time, just to see if we can double the effect a bit more. Bringing the first finger of the right hand, closing off the left nostril, inhale through the right, exhale through the left. Now you can combine this with light. Now if you enjoy doing light, and if you don't, if light's not easy, don't worry. You go in, you breathe in light, like the light of the moon. Luminosity, like light dispelling darkness in a room. You breathe that in. So it's light and air energy going in through that right channel. It's red. Goes down just below the navel, and we exhale darkness, whatever's stuck maybe on the left side we feel, So that goes out, and the light kind of expels the darkness, just like light in a room, So it illuminates that channel, but we exhale sort of like clouds or dark smoke, That's what's disturbing, the mind. So we do 3 times on each side and 3 times in the center with both nostrils. When you finish, just feel like those 3 channels, just affirm that you've cleared those channels. They're light, they feel lighter, clearer, a bit more spacious. Then honing more specifically into this practice of calm abiding, settling the mind to activate peacefulness, our ability to concentrate more, settling the mind into the tip of the nostrils, being with the breath. So for the next 5 minutes, we're simply going to be with the sensation of the breath at the tip of the nostrils as it goes in and out, anchoring our awareness there and affirming to help my mind, to help myself on the cushion in day life to be more peaceful. to have more focus and concentration, I'm going to do this settling meditation for the next 5 minutes. Just being with the breath at the tip of the nostrils, going into that sensation maybe a little more deeply. It'll allow you to stay more on the breath. So let's just do this for 5 minutes. So let's just step back for a moment after doing that. So we did that for 5 minutes. Just step out of that. Just be back in the body a little bit more. Maybe ground on the sit bones. If you need to move your body, we're still going to do another 10 minutes of meditation. But if you just need a minute just to move the body, you do that. So with this meditation, what we start to realize, what we want to see, experience over time, whether it's this or another type of meditation practice, is that we're not our thoughts. I mean, our thoughts are part of us. They're part of the fabric of our mental consciousness. But we want to try and separate ourselves from our thoughts so we can view them. We can sort of have more control over our thoughts. Because I think from thoughts, then feelings, emotions, anxiety, fears, that's when they come. Starts with a thought. So if thoughts come up, difficult ones, and we cling to them, we believe in them, then all the other emotions and fears and anxiety then come on top of that, behind that. So part of the work in meditation is trying to recognize, not getting rid of thoughts. First of all, recognizing that we're not completely our thoughts. Because if we can get that wisdom, then all the other fears, anxiety, emotions will stop them. They'll stop there, they'll stop with before we believe in the thought. So why do we believe in thoughts? Because they feel concrete, solid. They have this realness to them. We do know that they're a little bit separate from us, but we still identify strongly with them. It's not very logical. We know that they're not completely us, but we totally believe in them. And we allow often neurotic thoughts to take control of us. So another way to create spaciousness in their mind, a healthy space, is through what we call purification light meditations, lightening up our inner lives. So so for the next meditation, we're going to imagine this ball of light. So what do you identify with the energy of loving kindness? Maybe a being. If we've done some practice with deity already, maybe it's the Buddha compassion. Or maybe if we have a little bit connection with Christianity, it's a god or some other deity, that we feel embodies this kind of enlightened wisdom and compassion, the energy of love. But we imagine that forming on the crown of our head in terms of a ball of light, like just a small ball of light. But it's radiating love. But like the energy of the moon, when we think about the quality of the moon, it radiates equally in all beings without discrimination. It doesn't think, I'm going to shine some moonlight over there, but not over there. It has this kind of radiance illuminating the whole world. That's the quality of compassion, the quality of equanimity. So try a little bit to feel that quality radiating like light on our crown. And as we chant the mantra, so mantras have vibrational energy that also kind of has this ability to awaken our inner light. Open this lotus, bring it out of the mud. Sacred sound. been practiced by a lineage of saints and masters over many generations to awaken this lotus in their heart. We're going to recite the mantra of, my teacher called it happiness, or you can say mantra compassion. Om Mani Padme Hum. So imagine that vibration is coming from the ball of light in our crown, just naturally. I mean, I think all phenomena has a subtle vibration, a sound. So the vibration of this light is this energy of emanating this kind of happy energy, compassionate energy. And as we chant the mantra, we imagine the light coming down through us and just filling us with that vibration of the mantra and the quality of loving kindness and compassion, filling our whole being, deep, deep into a cellular level. So I'll recite a couple of times, then join in together, just trying to feel the energy of the mantra and holding this visualization of the light spreading through our whole being and filling us up with the vibration of the mantra. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Now taking a moment just to feel the energy of the mantra. Does it trigger, awaken anything in you? A bit more light, a bit more clarity? Does it awaken something in the feeling aspect of your mind, your consciousness, your being? And again, the vibration The mantra, energy mantra is light. So just allowing that sound just to fill you also with light. And be in that space for a moment. Okay, so come out of the meditation when you're ready. So last week I started with mantra. Last week, Om Ah Hum. We did that Om Ah Hum meditation to get us a feeling of, did you move for there? You did 15 minutes. Did you do the first part?
Yes.
Yeah, well, good, yeah. Did train, you know. When I started, it was like after 2 minutes, oh my God, you know. As I think I said in the first class, my first experience of meditation, very first one, we had to sit for an hour and watch our breath. That was frightening. It's like, whoa, boot camp, you know? So anyway, yeah, so I just was curious, how are we finding the mantra, Om My Home, those of us who did Om My Home mantra, anyone want to share? You know, does it work for you? Does it not work for you? Are we feeling something? Are we not feeling something?
It feels peaceful.
Feels peaceful. Okay.
Vibration of the mantra allows you to feel it. And also, your mind seems to just only think of the mantra. You don't think of anything else, so you're able to really be in the moment.
Good point. Good point. Sorry, what's your name again? I need a few.
Yeah.
Jian. Jian made a very good point that I'm just going to bring up now. He was saying, you know, when you're doing the mantra, that's just your mind's in that. So that's a very good point. Because what does mantra mean? I mentioned last week, but I'm not expecting any of us to remember. But Debbie, maybe, but I'm not going to pick on you. But I mentioned a definition of mantra, how it works. You know, what does it do? What does it mean? Debbie?
Protects your mind.
Protects your mind.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what it's doing in that moment. You know, just like we did the breathing meditation, you're trying to focus on that and take your mind away from the neurotic, just following the thoughts, you know, so you're just going in one place. Similarly, when you recite mantra, so I'm going to bring up this slideshow now, it protects your mind. No, it's something very key. Share, here we go. Is this popping up? Not there. Stop share, start again. Right, one more time. Share, press that again. Yeah, I'm sharing it. Oh, hold on. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Right, so mantra. Yeah. Oh, it's not coming up. There it is. Yeah, it takes a moment. So this is the meditation we did last week. Om My Home meditation. That's where we started. Lama Yeshe's meditation from current slide. So this is what we did last week. We chanted Om My Home just to get the vibe. See how vibration and mantra help a little bit to settle the mind, you know, as you were saying. So that was a lot, and I think that's recorded. If you wanted access to last week's teaching, you could send you that. But so this is actually where I want to start the 4 immeasurables. I don't
Post them on the Wisdom Center YouTube channel.
Oh, they're on YouTube channel. So this is the mantra we're saying, Om My Home. Jewel, so this is actually the 4 immeasurable thoughts that I think we won't have time to cover this week, but you just get a brief look at them there. But the jewel in the lotus, this is what Om Mani Padme Hum means. Mani, because it's in Sanskrit, Mani means jewel, Padme means lotus. So when we chant Om Mani Padme Hum, what we're invoking, what we're awakening is the jewel of compassion that's in the lotus of our hearts. We want to awaken that jewel, like that treasure of compassion. that it's there. We all have the potential to experience deep loving kindness and compassion for ourselves and others. So what the mantra does is it's bringing out that deep, peaceful quality of this jewel-like quality of compassion. That's often we say we have these chakras in our body, and they're sometimes related to like lotus petals. You know, there's these petals in our chakras in the more subtle body. So what we're trying to say is like, may that awaken, that vibration, awaken that jewel-like quality of compassion in my heart. So that's kind of the essence of the mantra, the meaning. And, you know, as so there's some other benefits of the mantra there. So one of them, as Debbie said, is, and you were saying as well, it's sort of, you just focused on that. It's protecting your mind from other stuff coming in, you know, due to the power of the vibration, the kind of energy, the blessing in the mantra, the way the syllables are put together. As I say, it's a bit like a medicine. I mean, the health food store, you go there and there's this and that and the next thing, you know, for all the different parts of the body. This is for the mind, to protect it from anger and jealousy and pride, and bring out the healing, you know, it's to heal the mind and bringing out the essential deep innate qualities we have of compassion and wisdom, but we haven't really known how to awaken them really deeply till now. You know, we all have parts of that. We all have some patience and kindness and love, but it's kind of sporadic, you know. It's not happening all the time. So here this is the different types of qualities and gifts that mantra gives us, you know. And it's, as I should say here, focus and intent is a focal point. That's what you were mentioning. It really focuses the mind, helps it to stay, not be wandering onto other things. It's focusing on this quality of love and compassion. And what do? They create a specific sound vibration that flow through the body and mind, which sort of balance and sort of activate these inner energies and chakras and subtle winds and minds that we've got going on. That's what we're trying to work with in meditation, the more subtle aspects of ourselves, so they activate them in a certain way through the power of the vibration of the mantra. Mantra blesses and integrates the three aspects of body, speech, and mind, unifying them through focused intention and sacred sound. So actually, as we go on to when we do the purification mantra at the end, what we want to do, because yeah, we are a mixed bag. I'm always talking about this mixed bag we've got. So we're kind of like a, you know, we have a backpack of stuff, mental issues, you know, that we're carrying around, yeah. Like most of us carry a backpack or something everywhere we go, but we have an inner backpack of stuff, you know, that's blocking our purer nature, our loving kindness. So generally what we say this is, what the backpack consists of two main, what would you say, two main items. Karma. We all heard this word now, karma. Karma, what does karma mean? It's just roughly. Action. We can say that, yeah, for now. It's got a lot more meaning, but we start with action. That's a good one to start with. Actions. So action means like not only of a backpack of like fear and anxiety and, you know, attachment and desire. What we also have is a backpack is sort of, because we're constantly creating actions, doing stuff with our body, you know, walking this, and our speech, talking, and our mind. We've got these three doors that actually need to be worked on in the Buddhist tradition. We work on them and we achieve, right now our body, speech and mind are what we could say is kind of a little bit more ordinary. You know, so what we want to do when we become Buddha in our spiritual practice is to kind of develop, refine, and make more kind of, you know, special or happier, at least in the beginning, the actions of our body, speech and mind. We want to subdue them, make them kind of move in the direction of creating happiness for ourselves. So we have to work on these three doors of body, speech and mind. So mantra, when we recite mantra, it sort of integrates and helps us to sort of purify and awaken subtle qualities that are there of our body, speech and mind, and purify the grosser aspects of the body, speech and mind. When we look at an altar, you know, we have always on the altar, I mean, generally, maybe not here, but generally speaking, we have, when we set up an altar, that would be in a whole other class, but we have these, what we call symbols of the Buddha's body. What's a symbol of the Buddha's body on the altar, Debbie? You have to take your sound off because you know some of this already. So
I have a small statue and I have a large picture.
yeah, and then the speech. What would be a symbol of the Buddha's speech?
Dharma.
The Dharma, the text, yeah, like a text.
Yes.
We don't
I have-
have a text,
yeah.
but we have lots of texts over there. Do you know what the symbol of the Buddha's mind is?
No.
Well, there's something you'll learn today then, Debbie. So stand, June.
Well, the other thing would be Sangha.
The symbol of the Buddha's mind, we see them quite a lot, Tony. One aspect of the Buddha's mind that you usually have on the altar. Stupa, Tony, stupa. You know, so why
okay.
we have these on the altar, not because the Buddha needs us to be all holy and, you know, prostrate and make offerings and all, because what we want to do is purify and become closer to our own Buddha body, speech and mind.
Did you say stupa?
A stupa. So a stupa, for those of you at Vajrapani, Dave's been to Vajrapani. He now you've already helped with the Buddha body. You put the Siti you helped to put something around our Siti Garbha statue. So the mind of a Buddha symbolized in us an image of a stupa. It's, I don't have an image here, but it's maybe Tony does. And that kind of, the stupa actually shows you all the aspects of enlightenment, how you become a Buddha. It's actually embodied in that object, you know. So we have that to remind us that we have to work with our body, speech and mind, with these three doors. So when we even when we meditate, we sit down, we get into the meditation position, we're starting to subdue our body. Because, you know, a lot of time our body, because our mind's crazy, our body's a bit crazy, you know, sometimes our actions, how we do things, we're not mindful, we can harm beings with our body, you know, just by mistake, you know. I mean, we're not going out and killing and all that, most of us, you know, in terms of, you know, intentionally. But the whole work in Buddhist practice and how we sort of orientate with meditation is to try and like start to calm down the body, calm down the speech and calm down the mind. So when we're in meditation, even whatever meditation we do, it's like we're in a virtuous position with our body when we meditate. We're not harming or doing anything. We're trying to keep the body peaceful. And then when we do, yes, this is a huge stupa. Stupa. This is in Nepal. It's a very famous stupa, you know, and one of the most famous stupas in the world, actually. And there's a whole, it's the symbol enlightened mind. So typically practices in Buddhism to walk around these, and they're filled with holy objects and symbols of the body and speech. So you feel there's a huge vibration. When you got a stupa like this, you can't not feel the energy. You would be pretty dim if you didn't feel something, you know. I mean, it's so powerful because it's blessed by holy beings and everything. So, but of course you can't put that on your altar, but you find small ones, you know. You could put images or so these all things help us to remind us that this is what we're doing in our practice. We have to work with the actions of our body, speech and mind, because we're using them. They're active all the time. We're always doing something with our body, even when we're sleeping, you know. When we're walking, we're working. So we want to we have to work with these grosser and more subtle aspects of ourselves all the time. Speech, be more careful with your speech. You know, mind is more difficult. But if we can tame the body and the speech, it's a bit easier to tame the mind because the mind's more subtle. So even as a monk or nun, I'm a nun. So my vows, I've got a series of vows, and they're actually mainly to help tame the body and speech. And why is that? Because if you work with your body and speech in meditation, out of meditation, then the mind follows easier. Because the mind's the most subtle part of yourself. I mean, people can see what's going on with your body, right? People can see what's going on with your speech, but they can't see what's going on in your mind because it's more subtle. Only like high beings can see your mind. You know, but we can sort of infer what's going on with people's mind a lot of the time through the actions of their body and speech. So when you think about it, body's the most grossest part of yourself right now that we can all see. Speech is like a little bit more subtle, but it's everything's coming for our mind. Everything's sifting through the mind, you know. It's all like even the actions of our body, if we're anxious or stressed, we see when we do the scanning that the body's all tight, you know. But it's harder to work. The mind's is very subtle, you know, thoughts and feelings and emotion, not easy. So how do we start in this tradition? We start by taking care of the body and the speech, taking care, and then slowly, slowly the mind starts to follow, you know. But if we just start on the mind and we're not being aware of our actions of body and speech, it'll be very difficult to work on the mind.
I mean, what would be an example of taking care of your speech? Just
One example would be, well, there's 4. So now we're going to move into, because I think I'll skip these because we did these a little bit last week and we're running out of time. And I want to just do this mantra recitation before maybe 10 minutes of this. So it's a good question. So generally we say in this tradition, how do you start spiritual practice? Where do you really start? This is daily life stuff, you know, how do you start? Meditation, yes. So we take care, and it's very similar, a little bit similarity to Christianity, you know, and you'll probably find in other traditions. Taking care of our actions. So 3 with the body. We want to try and work with no killing, which we think we don't do, but you know, there's a ways that we do it. We go out in the car, sentient beings, right? I'm not saying don't go out in your car, you know, but we kind of think that, well, I'm not really killing. I mean, that's great that we think that. That's good. But when we check up, just having this body, it involves a level of harm to other beings. We have to eat, we have to go in the car, we walk, we swim in the water, there's sentient beings, and there's beings around us all the time, you know. So even if we walk on the street, do we take care of like where we're walking? Are we standing on bugs? Are we, oh, that I don't like that mosquito, so I think I'll just zap them. Now, this is getting a wee bit more into Buddhist philosophy, you know, so I'm not expecting you all just to kind of grab this right away, you know, but generally when we say, since you're asking, Dave, when we take care of the body, what we're trying to do is really look at these 3 actions of the body that can create a lot of mental baggage for us over time, the Buddha says, karma. We start to create heavy imprints. We need to kind of give back when we do these things. And we feel the effects of them in our mind. Killing. What's the other 2, Stan, of the body? The 3 of the body that we need to take care of.
Well.
Killing.
There's
There's 3 of the body. I'm going to test you out here.
thank you. Of course, killing and well, lying is speech.
Line of speech, yeah, you need to.
You think, sexual misconduct.
Yep.
Is the other.
Sexual misconduct. There's one more, is stealing.
Stealing.
Yeah.
Falsification.
So taking things that are not offered to you, you know, that other people's possessions that, you know, you haven't taken. So I'm not saying we all do this, but what the Buddha says is we've got mental habits and garbage that we might have created in past lives that's blocking now. So we have the karma for people that take stuff off of us. Because we created that in the past. I mean, we feel it a little bit already, yeah? If we get really angry with somebody, something, you know, or, you know, we kind of feel that when we harm others, there's some sort, we feel it's like something not comfortable. When we lie to somebody, you feel a bit like a big one, you know, like you feel a bit not comfortable. I think we all feel that. But so anyway, these are the so these are the things. So being careful, and we think no stealing, but I remember when before I met the Dharma, you know, it was like, you got your job, oh, well, the office has got loads of paper, I'll just take some home. You know what I mean? Because they've got loads anyway. No, but nobody said you could take, that belongs to the office. Even my mum, I think my mum, you know, we should have this habit because she worked in an office and, you know, if I needed a pad or she'll just, you know, there's loads at the work, we'll just take one. But no, I had to say to mum, but no, that actually belongs to them. And the thing is, if you really check up, you are taking something that you've not been given permit that belongs to someone else. So we think we don't do them, but I think if you check up in subtle ways, some of that's going on, you know. And again, it's not to beat ourselves up, it's just to be aware that these actions with the body will affect our meditation. And if we can subdue them, the mind slowly starts to follow. So we have to start with the gross ones that are actually easier than sitting in meditation for 4 hours of concentration. We can't do that, you know. What are the 4 of the speech?
Lying, as I said.
Lying.
Harsh speech.
Harsh speech.
And gossip.
Yeah.
4. And
yeah, it's always a bit tricky to pull it up.
I remember reading these recently.
Yeah, no, I know it's hard to pull them up.
Please
Yeah.
say it again. Lying, harsh speech, gossip, and, oh, what is it?
Divisive
Divisive
speech.
speech,
Only
thank you.
Sam, because I want to make
Yes,
sure we do this
please.
meditation. It's divide, but that's good, yeah. You got 3 out of 4. So again, the body ones are a bit easier in a way. Maybe not for some of us, I don't know. And they're very easy to spot. Now, the speech ones get a wee bit more difficult. Lying. Now, we might not be saying blind lies, but we might like slightly shift the truth just to save our face or something like that, you know. But if you always check up, there's a level of discomfort protecting this kind of sense of self, you know. Lying, yeah, divisive speech, you know, causing others to fall out. Because you know, divisive means dividing friends or people, you know. So you go over and say, oh, guess what she said about you? Or, you know, and of course, gossip is it's got a big meaning, but basically just, yeah, just, we could say in a simple way, just talking about nonsensical things and things that didn't have any meaning. What they do, the thing is, what this stuff does is it disempowers our speech. You know, if we lie, then people just don't. If you have this thing where people have lied, you know, nobody listens to me, you know, then it's probably because you've lied a lot in the past. Because all these things have a karmic result. And you can say, oh, I don't believe in that, that's fine. But I think for karma, we need to really check out. Because again, you're asking me in the beginning, we don't believe in a creator God. God didn't do that to you. God didn't say, I'm going to put them on air so people lie to them and then they've got to deal with that or whatever. No, it's like we did that to ourselves before. So then our speech doesn't have a lot of, all of these disempower our speech, and we all want to be heard. We all want to be, and even if you have something positive to say, nobody's listening. Or they just don't take it in, and that's because we've created some of this in the past, and especially a lot of gossiping and talking about other people or things that are not really, they're just blah blah blah, or me, myself, and I stuff all the time. We all meet people like that. Me, myself, me, I, all the time, you know. What it does, and you see that people just stop listening to you. It's like, oh, there's so-and-so again, I didn't want to hear that. So what we do when we do this Vajrasattva, this is a purification practice. This is like a great place to start, because you start to purify your body, speech, and mind. Start to tame it, so that you don't have this, and the sort of luggage that we're carrying about in our mental continuum starts to get a bit lighter. You know, because we have the delusions, attachment, anger, jealousy, but we also have these actions that we've created over the past that are causing us to experience difficulties right now. So if you've experienced mistrust in relationships, people lying to you, going with other partners, the Buddhists would say, it's kind of radical, but the Buddhists would say, not because you're a bad person, you can cleanse that, but you have cheated others in the past, even if it's just basic friendships. You know, you've created divisiveness with friends in the past. That's why this group of people falling out of you, you know. And then you experience that because that's what you've created in the past. However, with this practice, you can purify these things so you don't have to experience them in the future. You can get rid of that karmic baggage. So in the future, you don't keep experiencing that, you know. But without cleansing the mind, then you keep experiencing these things again and again. You can make your speech more powerful with different practices. So it's not like oh, you've got this karma and it's the end of the world. No, we've got it. Well, I need to do something about it then, yeah. Just like you've got a dirty room. I mean, you can say, oh, my room's so dirty, and well, you just have to clean it. I mean, that's the solution, you know. You can talk about it all you want, feel bad about it all you want, feel guilty about it. That's not going to clean it. You just need to clean it. So that's what we do in these meditation practices. You simply need to clean your mind. Otherwise, you're going to experience problems again and again because we have these karmic seeds in the mental continuum. Now, many of us have very good karmic seeds. We don't have all junk, but we have a mix of black, what they call something like black and white. You know, we want the white stuff, but we don't want the black stuff. So if you want to be kind to yourself, you want to be compassionate, you clean your stuff. I mean, even if you live in a nice house, much nicer when the house is cleaner. Nobody really wants to live in a dirty house. But we're living in an unclean mental environment, you know. Not completely, it might be part clean, part dirty, but we want to clean it up so we don't experience junk in our lives. We don't experience problems and hardship, we will still experience some, but we'll lighten the load. So it's not one after the other. So this, for me personally, when I'm at the dam, this made so much sense to me. It's like, oh yeah, I just need to purify, you know, and things will slowly lighten up, you know. So, and then we've got 3 of the mind, and then we're going to do a very brief meditation. The more subtle ones, what I'll just mention, covetousness. What makes the mind heavy is when we covet and think, oh, I really like their stuff. I'd like that. You know, they've got a great car. Now you can rejoice and say, oh, they've got a wonderful car. How wonderful. But if you say they've got a great car and I really want that, and why have they got that? And I should have that, and all that mental stuff, then that's not, you know, you create more heavy mental garbage. And then maybe even try some way to get it off them, or, you know, even go further step, you know. So covetousness, ill will. Now that's a hard one. Judging others. So we can see the speech ones, it's like almost, well, maybe I could manage some of them and get better. But when you get to the ill will, covetousness, I'm not sure. Some of us will have it more than others. But ill will is a tricky one, because I think we all have because we judge ourselves so heavily sometimes, we have a lot of judgment of others. And that takes a lot of time to lift, you know. But it does lift. Ill will, covetousness, what's the other one again? Wrong views. That's more tricky, and that takes a bit more teachings. But basically, the main one we could say right now is thinking that I can do whatever I want and I'm okay. I can harm others. I've only got one life. I can do whatever I want, and I'm going to die anyway. Well, you can believe that if you want. But from the Buddhist perspective, even if we look, if you only had this life, being more kind and patient and compassionate, having less anger, you can see already we're happier. You know, so, but so that's a heavy one if we feel from the Buddhist perspective that I can just do whatever I want in this life, harm others, it's just all about me and getting what I want at the expense of others. That's like one of the, and thinking that it doesn't have any repercussions. That's one of the heaviest ones, because, I mean, in some ways it's fine if you're a good person and you still think that's it. But it's a heavy one because you keep creating mental heavy garbage on the mind, and you feel like that's okay, you know, there's no problem with that. It's not going to influence me in the future. So that's like, as you say, the mind ones are heavier. So what we do with Vajrasattva is we rely on this deity, this Buddha, this Vajrasattva is a being called fully purified. They're all purified, but this one embodies purification. So what I want us to do, we're just going to go in because we're in the last 10 minutes, might finish at 5 past. I just want us to go into meditation, just find your position. Couple of breaths. So what I just said just now, what part of that possibly resonates with you, you know? The actions of body, speech and mind. Am I really collecting sort of actions? Sort of, you know, am I filling up the backpack with actions with my body, speech and mind that are not serving me and certainly not helping others? Is that a possibility? That my actions have more of an effect than just right now, right in that moment? Is it possible I need to take care a little bit more and investigate a little bit more these actions, 10 actions of the body, speech and mind? Is it possible I need to think about this idea, concept of purifying my mind so the mind becomes lighter, cleaning up my karmic load? Just like I clean a room, we feel lighter when our house is clean. So imagine how light we would feel if the environment, our consciousness, our mind was cleaned up. these karmic actions, these seeds that are kind of like blocking or almost like suffocating our natural lightness in mind. So imagine, so think, okay, yeah, I'm going to try and purify right now, not just for myself, but I want to purify so I can benefit the immediate beings around me. And generally be of benefit to all beings. We try and hold this motivation when we practice, that our practice not only benefits ourselves, but some way indirectly and more directly in the future will benefit others. That's much more I'm subdued. I'm clear with my actions of body, speech and mind. And for sure it's going to benefit others around us. So if you feel comfortable visualizing, as we see in the image here, we imagine spontaneously appearing to help us, just like a friend. This deity of Vajrasattva, as we see in the picture on the lotus and moon cushion, having a white radiant body. It's almost like the colour of a conch shell, really bright, clean white, or like a mountain, snow mountain with the sun on it. This really brilliant white colour. We feel that energy above us, this cleansing colour. You know, when the snow first falls, it feels really clean and fresh. So that kind of feeling of a being emanating above our crown. And from his heart, like a light and nectar's coming, like a powerful waterfall of psychic energy coming through his heart, going through our crown and purifying our crown, our speech. So the light, we feel like the first, as we chant the mantra, first of all, it goes into our crown and we purify all the actions of our body, killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, all the imprints, the seeds that are still there in our mental consciousness. As it goes into the speech, purifying negative energy, actions with the speech, lying, divisiveness, harmful speech, gossip. Then as that light goes into the heart, it's purifying the mind, the wrong views, you know, misunderstandings, maybe our lack of understanding or feeling of karma, our sense to judge ourselves and others, ill will. So as we recite the mantra, focus for a few on at the crown, purifying the body, a few at the heart, at the speech, purifying speech, and a few at the heart, purifying the mind, and just strong light energy flowing through us, and all the junk that we don't want going out through the floor like liquid smoke or tar or soot, just dissolving deep into the earth as we recite the mantra together. Om Vajrasattva Om, 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 Om Vajrasattva Om. Take a moment to feel the power of the mantra, the visualization, and our own resolve to want to purify, that my mind's been purified, the actions in my body, speech and mind, that's which doesn't serve me. Sort of heaviness of some karmic load has been sort of cleaned for the mind. Try to feel that clarity, cleansing of the mind. Then that being on our crown, Vajrasattva, is really pleased with our meditation, slowly dissolves into a very small ball of radiant, clean, clear light. Dissolving through our crown. And again, touching all the pores of our being and moving down through into our heart chakra and just landing cleanly, simply into the level of the heart and filling our whole, again, radiating out with clean, clear light. So our ultimate nature is one with Vajrasattva, this clarity, deep clarity of consciousness. This is me. In this space, just take a moment. So after these 5 classes, what is our intention? Do we have anything moving forward that we intend to do in terms of our spiritual practice or meditation and practice? Make a sort of intention how we want to move forward from this class. Okay, thank you so much. Let me just take off the share. Stop share. So I see everyone there as well. So thank you everyone for joining online. Again, if you have any questions, I know Mary, you sent me questions and I will get to your questions. My sister's here right now, so I've been kind of busy being the tour guide. But I saw your email, so I will get to your questions.
Well, the most important one was pretty thoroughly answered with the beginning part of the class today.
Okay,
Because
good.
my issue is trying to find time to meditate.
Yeah,
and I think we covered
understand
it
that.
pretty well.
Okay, good. I'm glad that's the answer. So I just need to answer the other 2. Okay. Good. And Arena, again, if you have any questions. Arena, where are you again? Where are you based?
I'm in the North Bay, Canfield.
Okay. So you're not too far away. And then I meant to mention also those of you who are in class, we are going to have a tea and cake if anybody wants to stay and have a visit. So I'm just having a quick visit with everybody online because they can't have tea and cake. We'll send you virtual tea and cake. Yeah, and yeah, again, Irina and Robbie, if you have any other questions, you can welcome to contact me at any time. If you need help to carry on your meditation practice, please do get in touch. Of course, we have Elaine Jackson's going to start Buddhist mind science next week. So we've got a little bit more into philosophy. It's more secular, but it really is secular, but still Buddhist philosophy, you know, but we're taught in a more secular way. So she'll start, that's the class that's going to go on for the next, what, 4 weeks or something?
It's not every Saturday.
Okay.
It's for 4 sessions and it starts next week.
Yeah.
And it's all on the website, with Wisdom Center website, so
Yeah.
please, yeah.
So if you'd like to join in on that.
Sometimes 9:30 starts at
Mhm,
9:30
mhm.
here.
And I also plan maybe by December to have my own website. Somebody's helping me. So maybe when that's set up, I can send it to Tony or something. So if there's other events on there, I don't have anything going on personally for the next 6 weeks. My sister's here and I'm doing a short retreat. So, but yeah, if you are interested to join in, and I do have occasional things online at Vajrapani Institute. But yeah, we have ongoing classes here as well with Elaine, and then I think Geshe Legsog was leading a compassion meditation here during the week. So
That's on Fridays at noon. And it's
Fridays at
only a
noon.
short hour. If you're free at noon on Fridays, come, because he's talking all about the happiness mantra and we recite it.
Yeah. So that's on a Friday, yeah. So, but Robbie, did you want to say anything? I saw your mute's off. No.
Oh, I just want to say, thank you for supporting us, and thank you for teaching us. This has been great, really helpful for me personally, for sure.
Okay, good. I'm glad it's been helpful. Yeah, and please carry on and let us know if you need any support. Yeah, same with you, Irina.
Yeah, for sure.
And hopefully we'll meet sometime.
And
Yeah.
on behalf of Wisdom Center, I want
Okay.
to thank you personally, Venerable Angie. This has been just a wonderful class. I don't know if everybody agrees. I loved it. I hope that we can arrange for you to come back. And
Yeah, I'm sure I'll come at some point. Yeah,
if
yeah.
anybody wants to practice the paramita, which means a blessing of generosity, we can make offering. There's some envelopes over there on that table behind Bonnie. You can make an
Thank
offering to
you.
Venerable Angie. So
Thank you so much,
Yes,
Tony. Thank
that's
you.
great.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's cake, there's tea.
Yeah, so we will see you
Party.
hopefully again all online sometime. But yeah, just keep me posted if you've got any questions with your practice. Please feel free to reach out. Okay, thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Hope
Okay.
to see you next week.
Yes. So as I say, you're welcome to stay and have a tea and have a chat.
I'm trying to think of how I want to
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
phrase this, but my daughter works with autistic children.
Yeah, gather around.
Yeah.
And
Have
she started,
conversations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Share how the class was for
yeah,
you.
she started trying a type of mindfulness.
Yes.
that another person- Is
This
possible
is a gluten-free
if-
cake.
that
It does have
if you don't have an intellect,
Oh yeah, for well, how severely autistic are they?
Yes.
Very severe.
but she's tried a couple of things, for calming and for, but
I would think just some of the basic Western methods. I mean, when you get into Buddhist meditation,
yes,
I mean, mindfulness, I think it has to be around the body first. You have to start with the body, so just sitting and I think also like doing some qigong, often, I don't know if they can do some like gentle movement exercise because it's,
a movement thing.
yeah, because I think that helps to connect with the body first to get the body a wee bit more quiet.
Yeah. But I was listening to you talk and I'm having intellectual tugs of war,
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to work with the couple
Would you like
things
piece of
I'm
cake?
focused on.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just wondered if you're mentally or even mentally.
That's the thing, we have this at the beginning of the Buddhist path. There's something called the precious human rebirth, when you start like really going into the gradual path to enlightenment. And the first thing is being very fortunate to have our mental capability, So it's not easy I think I don't really know anything I could pull out of Buddhism. It would be something to be more on the secular level, but even just like maybe gentle breathing exercises, like maybe the 9 round breathing. Maybe they could do that. Imagine light in your body and breathing in and breathe. It might just help settle the mind. Just a very that gentle light breathing. Even if they can't do all the light, but just 3 times, because they're doing something where they're 3 times they breathe in, feel it in your stomach.
Yeah, and it's one of the qualities of they like
So in the
repetition.
future, I just park
Yeah.
here.
I mean, the other thing is I don't know, like mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, the mantra for happiness.
There.
Om Mani, but they might, you don't have to be sitting meditating, they could just say it, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Just call it the mantra of happiness.
When I told her about this class, she immediately kind of lit up.
Yeah.
And wanted to kind of share it.
Yeah.
She asked me,
Some of you
Yeah. They do on the ones that are on the documents.
I hear you.
So I've sent you the ones on the documents, meditation. So sit down, see if something.
But this one is usually pretty empty, especially early on in Saturday.
Okay.
But very simple, just
Be careful.
breathing in, breathing out.
Yeah.
Just taking and watching your breath, sitting and let's do the mantra of happiness. Om Mani Padme. That's more like joyful, right? And joyful, that's a real mantra.
Yeah, she just, she's really eager, and my enthusiasm, I think.
Well,
Make her
if she has any if she wants to contact me, you've got my email.
Yeah.
So she's more than welcome to contact me.
Well, that's,
Yeah, just ask her if she